Hello. So I wanted to jump on today because I keep seeing this question about exclusively breastfed versus exclusively breast pumping. If you are solely deciding to breast pump because of the horror stories that comes from everyone else about breastfeeding and the emotional and physical toll that it takes on a human being, please do not trick yourself into believing that pumping is any easier or any less emotional. Honestly, in just my opinion, and you don't need to come for me if you have or have not or did or didn't. It's not important. My experience on it, regardless if you have one or two kids, there's this beautiful magical world of breastfeeding that I think everybody wants to be a part of. So you see these moms breastfeeding and they fall asleep and they're co-sleeping, and it's so beautiful. And then you have kids, and your kids have zero intention to latch whatsoever. So you think that a great idea would be to just exclusively pump because that's supposed to be easier. But then you realize that, unlike other parents, sleeping while they're sleeping is not an option because their sleeping time is your pumping time. You have to continue to pump every 2 hours because with breastfeeding comes this biological response where your body is being drained of milk and recreating it with those 2 hours that you have between your children's feedings. So now you're pumping all the time, just like you would be breastfeeding. And for me, I think the biggest emotional hit that comes with it is you go on social media and you see all of these people who are like overproducing, like to an excessive state, where they've got like 2 or 3 bottles per pumping session, and you can't even pump out like a third of a bottle. You can't even pull out a quarter of a bottle. So here you are beating yourself up that everybody else can do it, but why can't I? And then those moments where you would have got that sleep to solve some of that gut wrenchingly awful exhaustion, that sleep is filled with pumping and then more regret and more guilt and all of these feelings that, I mean, between breastfeeding and breast pumping, they are both an extremely emotional toll. Creating milk as a human being is an extremely emotional thing, and it takes a lot of effort and constantly drinking water and eating nothing but extremely fibrous foods. So if you are strictly making a decision on not breastfeeding because you literally do not want to deal with the emotional toll of it, pumping is no different. A fed baby is the best option. It doesn't matter what that looks like. So please do your research and don't just immediately think that breastfeeding and breast pumping are supposed to happen. Just take care of your baby.